week at a time. Out of Bounds with Bo Bounds. Right here on WRKS 105.9, The Zone.
All right, guys, Out of Bounds, ESPN 105.9 The Zone, brought to you by the GMC Sierra Truck at Fowler Buick GMC in Brandon. You can jump online, FowlerBuickGMC.com. Test drive a GMC Sierra Truck this week. You'll love it. I love mine. And they are the #1 truck dealership in Central Mississippi. We welcome in Bo Mattingly, Sports Talk with Bo, Razorback Insider on the New Belgium Fat Tire Hotline. And, Bo, good morning. How are you, bud?
I'm doing great, Bo. Thanks for having me, man.
So what's the temp up there right now?
Well, it's warmer than usual, and it's fall. It's up and down, man. It's the roller coaster that Arkansas has been on for 7 weeks. I think people here are right now kind of trying to figure out whether 8-4 would be a good season, given that the record would be good, but Arkansas has been hammered by the better teams in the league. And, of course, 8-4 is still 2 wins away. So if you're not even to 8 wins yet and you're not sure if it's a good season, I think people are kind of still trying to figure out what to make of this year.
That's interesting. Yeah, it's a Jekyll and Hyde deal with the Razorbacks. At times they've looked really good. I mean, that Ole Miss game, I kept thinking when Riley Williams III ran like he did, and Austin Allen is a much better QB than I thought. You know, I thought they had some things. The close wins early against maybe La Tech and TCU should have been maybe raised some eyebrows. Tell me about the offensive line and compare it to Bielema's offensive line the last couple of years.
It's a big step back. It's a down year on the offensive line. It is not what you need in this system. And to me, it is a real cutting question at the core of a Brett Bielema program who really begins and ends with the offensive line. And if you have a good offensive line, it just takes care of so many other things. Your defensive line becomes tougher. Your running game is there. You can protect your quarterback. When you don't have it, it goes the opposite direction of all of those things, and you can't win in a lot of leagues that way, but certainly not in this league. As much as this league has changed, there are still great offensive and defensive linemen, more so than any other league. And if you're soft, that's a problem. And for Arkansas, that's what you're building your program on. So going back to the conversation, if they were fortunate enough to figure out a way to beat Mississippi State and Starkville, and I think that's a terrible spot for Arkansas, by the way. But if they're fortunate enough to win that game and then go beat a team that's not very good in Missouri.
Neither one of those teams are very good.
If they come out of the season with 8 wins, I mean, it'd be a great year for a soft Razorback team.
I agree. Kind of reminds me of MSU last year. They won 9, and they didn't have much. They didn't have anything on the offensive line, and their offensive line this year's 13th or 14th in the league. What Bo Mattingly, Razorback Insider, Sports Talk with Bo, statewide Sports Talk Radio out of Fayetteville, joining us on the New Belgium Fat Tire Hotline. So, is it losing the offensive line coach to Georgia and Kirby Smart, or is it recruiting, or both, as far as the offensive line was, Bo?
I think one of the reasons they lost the offensive line coach is because he saw what was going on.
Gotcha.
And I think they've missed on some guys, and it's not been the same. You know, when you lose a guy early, maybe you're having to play players that you weren't expecting to have to go right now. And, you know, that feels more like an excuse than a good reason for a program that's supposed to have good offensive linemen every year. I mean, that's you ask anybody, and I ask people in the off season, hey, what do you think about the offensive line and the guys they're replacing? You know, national college football analysts, and they all said the same thing. Is Brett Bielema still coaching? Oh, he'll have a good offensive line. It's been stunning, really.
I'm expecting a track meet. This Mississippi State team is not good. They have major holes on the offensive line and major holes on the back end of their defense. They can't kick field goals. But yet, I know Arkansas is going to score. I think Mississippi State will be able to run the football, but I'm not totally convinced. Are you expecting a track meet in Starkville Saturday night, Bo?
Pretty much, unless Arkansas's defense has one of those games like they had against Florida, where they figure out a way to tackle and play well. I mean, Nick Fitzgerald is a load, and that's been a problem for Arkansas playing mobile quarterbacks. The one concern I would have from Arkansas's perspective, everything you just said, if they fall in love with the pass, that could be because Mississippi State's not been good defending the pass. Austin Allen and those good Arkansas receivers look at the tape, and the offensive coaches think they can really get State there. If they fall in love with throwing the football, that's not a recipe for winning. Arkansas's got to run for 150 yards. When they run for 150 yards, they're 12-2 since Dan Enos has been the offensive coordinator. When they don't, it's like 1-7 or 8.
Ooh.
It's not pretty. It's a completely different game when they don't rush for 150 yards.
So Raleigh Williams III has to get going, and he has to go well over 100, and then maybe supplement that with another back? Bo?
Well, Devwall Whaley, the freshman, has come on the last couple of games.
Okay.
And I think he might have a higher ceiling. He's bigger and stronger. He can break a tackle a little bit better. They're a great complement to each other, and if they can get the running game going a little bit, I'm not saying Williams won't do what you just described. That's likely if they're going to have a good game there, but expect to see more of 21 too. He's a pretty good back.
All right, say his name again, the freshman?
Devwa Whaley.
Devwa Whaley.
Which he went through about 3 name changes with Arkansas sports talk radio callers.
I can't imagine.
Deswa, Whaley, Duva, Wally. It's Devwa Whaley.
Devwa Whaley. All right, number 21. Is he a true freshman or a redshirt freshman,
Yeah,
Bo?
true freshman out of Texas. He was a top 5 back coming out of high school.
Good grief,
Big
wow.
Get. This is a big get for Arkansas. I thought we'd see more of them early.
Okay.
But, what happens is, the thing about playing in this league, man, and you know this, Arkansas has played 7 of their 10 games as the underdog.
Yeah.
They were the underdog at TCU. But in this, you're playing top 10 teams every week. I'm not saying they stay there in the rankings, but they're quality opponents. So you bring a freshman in at running back, and he might be able to run the ball, but can he pass protect?
Exactly.
You know what the check down is. And one miss on that, and, it's an 8-yard sack. So it's taken a little while for him to get on the field, and it'll be interesting to see what kind of impact he has the next couple of weeks.
Huh. All right, Bo Mattingly, Sports Talk with Bo out of Fayetteville, Arkansas. Bo, I've only got a couple of minutes here. What is the weakness on the Arkansas defense?
The defensive line, and they're playing without their best weak side linebacker, Dre Greenlaw. And in this system, the weak side linebacker makes a ton of tackles. And so they're playing with a guy who is probably not the SEC caliber weak side linebacker they need. Greenlaw's out, but the D line has been the biggest issue this season. We thought they were going to be better, but it was, I think, because they played such a weak offensive line all spring and fall.
Ah, okay. Are you going to make the trip?
I don't think I'm going to make this trip.
I don't blame you.
I don't miss many games.
Right.
But as a dad, I have to pick some spots every once in a while. I know you know that.
Absolutely.
And I think I'm gonna enjoy this one from the man cave.
Yeah, from the HD Smart TV, baby. I understand all day long. I do not blame you.
And I would like to save my ears for, another year or two. Because that environment, I'll say this, the environment in Starkville 2 years ago, and I tweeted this during the game.
Yeah.
That's as good as I've ever seen. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, the what they've created there at that stadium it's pretty cool. It's a fun college football environment.
Yeah, totally different than when when Kroom was there and so on just a few years ago. Bo Mattingly, Sports Talk with Bo, 2 to 6 out of Fayetteville, statewide, Razorback Insider. Could be a track meet Saturday night in Starkville. We'll see what plays out. Hey, Bo, we always enjoy it. Thanks, man.
Hey, same to you, Bo. Thanks so much.
Take care. Bo Mattingly on the New Belgium Fat Tire Hotline. So they have a freshman that is now up and running and has been making a major impact in the games the last couple of weeks. So they'll go with a 1-2 punch in that backfield. Boy, that sounds like fun for that Hail State defense. On top of that, Austin Allen can throw the football. He absolutely can throw it. And Mel Kiper had him as the best pro prospect even before Chad, I think Kelly was hurt as far as SEC QBs. Now, that may have been a stretch. Just telling you what Mel Kiper Jr. had on his board. He had Austin Allen over Chad Kelly as far as SEC QB pro prospects. Of course, there's a rumor that they're petitioning for Shea to go ahead and go to the NFL, and just why does he need a sophomore and junior year? I'm just having fun. It's Thursday. It's game day. Saints-Panthers tonight. Golly, Who Dat Nation needs a W. Drew Brees against the Panthers. And then Louisville and Houston. All right, we're live in the Bank Plus studio. Storytelling time coming up. Dave Bartu in about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Dave Bartu in 25 minutes. He's always a riot.